Okay, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to get the letter and the name set up for your floral earring stand. The letter I have in this one is set to cut, and then the name I have set to engrave. So I'm going to move the name out of the way so you can even see how that name kind of fits in so that it doesn't actually cut out where the name is. So I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm using Silhouette Business Edition to design this, but really any software that you use should have these same functions. They're pretty standard. All right, I'm going to start by doing my letter. And for this one, if you wanted to know the same font, I think I did Times New Roman. Let's see. For my first letter. Then, of course, I can size it however I want. Now, what I like to do before I do anything where I'm going to actually cut, see, I'm going to end up cutting out a piece of that letter, I always make a copy of that letter and just put it to the side. That way, if I make a mistake, I don't have to go back and type the letter again and size it back the way I want it. I already have kind of my backup, and I always keep a backup of everything that I make. So there's my letter. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the name. I'm going to do it black. I use black when I'm setting my laser for engraves, but this also helps me to see the name on top of the letter a little bit easier because this is going to be the part that's engraved. Now I'm going to change my font. This font is called White Crystal Script. Again, you can use any font that you want, but if you're curious which one I used, that's the one I used for this. And I'm going to resize. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select all three of these things, the name, the letter, and the floral stand. And I'm going to center them just so I can get an idea of what it looks like centered. Some letters I like centered, some letters I don't like centered, like K's I don't like centered. I actually might scoot this one to the left a tad bit. So you kind of get it the way that you want it. Might make these a little bit bigger. I'm going to try centering it again. Okay, once you get it the way that you like it, again, I'm going to take those, I'm going to copy them just in case I mess up. That way I've got this one to fall back on. Right now, if these letters weren't filled in, you would see that they're not welded. So let me zoom in so you can see right here all the little ends, the tails of the letters. You would still see that. Even though it's engraving, you would still see it because it almost like double engraves in that space. So we do want to weld this. In Silhouette, the way you do that is you just right click and choose weld. Depending on your software, that might be a little bit different, but you want to weld your letters today. So now you can see that there are no tails or anything like that. Okay, now that I have that done, I want to have a little bit of an offset off of these letters because I'm going to use that to cut the letter out. So I'm going to click on my name, Chloe, and I'm going to go to my offset button. And then you can decide how much of an offset you want. Again, all of the different design softwares have a way to do an offset. So you just kind of have to figure out which one is that one. And I think I like it like that, so I'm going to hit apply. Okay, now I'm going to scoot my name out of the way because I don't want to have anything happen to that, and really I'm just going to work with this piece. Now, again, as my backup, just because I hate redoing stuff, I'm going to make a copy of it, just in case I don't like the way that it looks or something else happens. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to select both of the items. And in Silhouette, you have a modify panel, and I'm going to click on that. And you have all of the different ways that you can modify or cut out pieces of things. So like, for example, like that's crop. It basically crops out everything except for like the pieces that are not overlapping. You've got divide, where it kind of divides each individual piece. See that how I can cut it up. Anywhere it's connected, it divides out. And then we have subtract. So I hit subtract, and what that does is it subtracts out any overlapping pieces. So I'd only overlapped here and here. There was a tiny little dot I thought down here. Did I see that right? Oh, that's dirt on my computer screen. Ignore me. Now I have my pieces. I usually will group these together just so that I don't accidentally move one and then the name doesn't fit anymore. I don't need my offset because I'm not going to use that at this point. I'm just going to bring in my name. Boop. And again, I can use like my center. I can highlight them both and center them. Oh, I didn't have it centered that way when I did it. And I'm just going to place it the way that I want it so it fits. So now when I go to actually do this on the laser, it's going to cut out those red lines. So it'll cut out these pieces of the C, but it's not going to cut out any part of the name. That part's going to actually be engraved. So I'm going to group these together. I can get rid of all of my backup pieces because I don't need those anymore. Don't need you anymore. Now I can slide this over, and then you can center that up and get that the way that you want it, and you're ready to send it to your laser. So that's it.